So I like accuracy. I like facts. I like specificity. I like the truth, the empirical truth, not the truth as mentally disturbed psychos like to create it, but scientific truth. And the scientific truth is that maintenance was in this unit at around 3:30 this afternoon. And since then, there has been complete and total silence from the now empty unit behind that door. However, over the last 4 nights, there has been someone in that unit doxing their presence by making violent smacking and banging noises against this part of my wall and against the farthest corner in the back. They were also dropping what sounded like golf balls on the bare floor of Unit 88 2 nights ago at like 1 in the morning. And I reported it to management because it was so loud, it literally sounded like it was coming from the floor of my unit directly against this wall. But there's nobody in there now. So whoever was in there before maintenance showed up today at like 3:30 is no longer in there because there has been complete and total silence from behind this wall all night, including when I tried to use my bathroom, including when I removed some items of clothing. That means that the perving, creeping, wanking piece of shit named Jason DaCosta, who lived in that unit up until a week ago, was still in that unit over the last 4 nights because he was deliberately making violent slamming and banging noises directly against this wall because he's a compulsive, perving, creeping, masturbating piece of shit that can't stop hate stalking women who don't want to provide him with whatever it is he feels entitled to from women and their bodies. He's a disgusting reject. He has been moved, I think, to somewhere else in this building, but he seems to still be able to access his former unit because assuming that, he had a key all along, then it means that the Greenville group really isn't on top of things and probably didn't ask for the key back. They're not really on top of many things, and that's why there was no heat in this building for 3 days and no hot water for a day and a half. And Inspectional Services had to issue a citation for a code violation just yesterday. So Inspectional Services seems to think what I think, which is that the Greenville Group is a criminally negligent slumlord that can't get its act together. And when they can't get their act together, it means they're not going to ask a perving, creeping wanker like Jason DaCosta to give them the key back after they've moved him out of his unit. So again, it's been completely silent from behind that door and from behind this wall for the last 10 hours now. It is right around 1 a.m. on what is now Friday, February 21st, 2025, and there has been, thankfully, complete and total utter silence from what is now obviously the vacant, empty unit behind this door. And when I was reporting violent slamming and banging noises from behind that wall over the last few nights, it was in the same identical, predictable pattern of cause and effect between what I happened to do in the privacy of my unit and Mr. DaCosta's violent slamming and banging, as Mr. DaCosta has been engaging in for the last 3.5 years. It's so predictable. I was almost always able to accurately predict when the psycho wanker DaCosta would suddenly start slamming things against that wall based on what I do in the privacy of my unit. The fact that there are surveillance devices in my unit has been literally thrown at my face dozens of times verbally by other residents, by management staff, and by a couple of Boston police detectives who said, yes, we have knowledge of the use of surveillance devices in your unit. We just don't know who's responsible for them. Maybe the Russian slumlord who tends to do what they think is legal to do in Russia. But what's legal in Russia is not what's legal in Boston, and they don't seem to know that, or maybe they just don't care. So you do the math on that one.